Ambawa Stitch G4 Talk Health Ejabni Iskabi Chantu Abin Gichi Bare Daa Opinchi Injayam Daa Anartam Daina Naratam Ishnish.
Welcome back to the G4 Talks Health podcast. Today, we will be talking with Carmen Littlelight about being two-spirited in the Indigenous community. Welcome!
Hey guys.
Welcome! Yeah, it's so exciting to have you here. It's so nice to see you. And
yeah, I'm excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
You want to give like a quick introduction?
Yeah, should I say it in Sutina?
Yeah,
sure.
I can say my name. Tanit Ada Size Carmen Littlelight Ada. Yeah, hello, my name is Carmen Littlelight. And I'm from Sutina Nation. And I'm also from Siksika and the Blood Nation. I have quite a bit of relatives everywhere, though, so I'm pretty... I know quite a bit of people, but at the same time, I'm like related to them, so I don't know if that counts. But yeah, I'm like... it's pretty neat that I'm like where I'm at right now, especially with like everything that goes on.
yeah.
So it's pretty neat that I still get to do my job and at the same time, like, I don't know, just be supportive to everybody still.
Yeah, for sure.
That's where I'm at right now.
Nice. Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. So do you want to talk about your two-spirited sharing circle that you've been running? And when did that start even?
Yeah, we could get into that. It's, we like started it like live back in March, I believe, but I was like in the midst of starting it, I think for like maybe like 3-4 years now. Okay. I started like asking like quite a bit of people who are like kind of out or people that I could talk to. So I started like doing my whispering and started like, planting these little seeds everywhere with like, hey, we need to have like a group on the reserve because, I struggled with it and I'm sure everyone else still struggles with like trying to come to terms with even like fitting in the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like, and I started it with my good friend who also like works on the nation, and she actually like came up with the Sutina name for it. Like, it's literally translated like two-spirit.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, it's a Kia Magatsa. Like, so she went and got it done, and then as soon as she had the translation, that's kind of where it just kind of kicked off like this year. So this year we officially like had circles and had discussions about stuff. Yeah, it was pretty neat. Yeah. And I even like had a dream about it, so that's why I like pushed so hard to have it.
Yeah.
So it's neat. It's fun.
That's amazing. I didn't know that you started it yourself. Like, that's so cool.
Oh, yeah. It was like a struggle. And the only reason like why I truly started it too and like why I got the courage to do it, because I was so scared. I was like terrified. Mm-hmm. So I like went to an elder who I can pretty much go to for quite a bit of things. Mm-hmm. And she's like also outside of my family as well. So so it was really good. Like I went into her like this year too in January. I went and like offered and I asked her like, what can I do? What should I do? And so she gave me like her blessing to start it. And then I went back and just, I spoke to my friend who he was like a big support for me, and she was like, yeah, let's just do it. Like, let's just go forth and see what we can do with everything. Yeah, and major blessings came. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, congratulations on starting that. Like, that's huge. Yeah.
Oh, no, I just did it for everybody else. So I'm like, I don't want to take all the credit or anything like that. It's just like, it was just like needed, I just happened to be the one. So yeah, that's how it all happened.
Yeah, and is it all virtual, or do you guys have...
It's virtual right now, just because we don't have, like, a space, like... Because at the same time, it's not just, like, Sutina people that come. It's, like, I've had quite a bit... Like I mentioned, because I'm from, like, these other reserves. Mm-hmm. I know other people from them that don't have that support either.
Right.
So I was hoping with IKEA, we would influence Treaty 7 reserves, or if there's other circles or anything like that in Treaty 7 specific to the nations, like if we could influence that, empower them in some way. That's kind of how we really started it, was just have it here and then hope it kind of exists everywhere else too. So it's virtual, so we could have from everybody from every nation come and sit down with us. So it's virtual, but hopefully like it can be in person soon.
Yeah.
So I planted that seed as well.
Yeah. It'll happen.
I whispered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome that it's other reserves too.
Yeah.
That would be cool to see, right?
Yeah, and I even got it translated in Blackfoot as well.
Oh,
like
wow.
Two-Spirit. I don't really remember how to say it because I just like focus on the Sutuna part of it, but so hopefully we're gonna get it like in Cree, Anishinaabe, Moin, whatever else we can do. Yeah, that's the goal.
That's cool that there were like words for like two-spirited or like LGBTQ like plus people like already. Like so, what is like the like because there's a cultural like significance and like it's connected to like our culture. So it's almost like reclaiming our culture. Is also like being more inclusive. Like,
yeah, that's such a good point.
Yeah, that's actually why we started it too. Is because like from all my research that I've done, like because we don't have knowledge about Two-Spirit that's on paper. So like what we do in the circle is like we take it further back than just like the 10 years. Like we kind of talk about how Two-Spirit already influenced these like spectrums. It's just like the English words put on it. So there's no English word I think to describe anything like that. Like, and then also just to remember like Two-Spirit is like a term from the East. So it was like a pan-Indian sort of like movement at the time. So Two-Spirit isn't really like here or anywhere else. It was just kind of like spread across, I guess, like what they say, Turtle Island. So yeah, so like we just kind of like they just like directly translated in a way. But there was words to each language of like what that meant, and I think they just decided to just come up with two because like it's like it's like having both a feminine and a masculine personality like in two of you. So like you're basically walking around with like three people. That's just my interpretation of it. Yeah. And it's very true. Like so, and it took me a long time to like even identify with that myself. Like I just. I'm like, I don't want to date myself, but I'll just do it anyway. It's like, I'm 31. So I'm 31, don't do the math. But like, just like maybe like two years, I just started identifying with Two-Spirit. Wow. Yeah. So, cause like, I went to Catholic church for like Catholic school for like ever. And like, that's kind of frowned upon. So like, there's no information on it whatsoever. And you're kind of just like going through the motions and figuring yourself out. So a lot of like Two-Spirit people have to identify with like the English terminology with the spectrum and like the different identities out there. So like in our circle, that's what we practice, is discovering all the identities out there, but also remembering like if you're spiritually inclined, like that Two-Spirit energy kind of applies to all of us in some way. Yeah. It's just like tuning into it, I guess. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I think that's so powerful, right? Like to just know that you're two-spirited. Like I think that's such a blessing, because in other cultures, around the world, like that's not how it's defined for them. But, when you describe it in Indigenous culture, like that's amazing. That's cute. Like that's beautiful, right?
Yeah, it's just kind of like that's who you are. You're just born. You're just born with it, and then with colonization and like the English world, you lose all of that. Right. So if you lose your language, you lose your identity. So like because we don't have that term for Two-Spirit, we don't really have the identity with it right now. So we're just kind of exactly like before, like we're reclaiming it now. So we're kind of bringing everything back. And it was even to the point where we questioned all like the colors, like the flag. Like we questioned the pride flag in our circle. Mm-hmm. Like we were like, who made this? Who said who's the one that said this? Like so we really like educated ourselves before we could really be like, hey, this is too spare, hey, you can't do this, you know, things like that. Like we really made sure to take it back, like way back. And even with like, and I was like, it's like you kind of have to be there and see like how we all kind of go back and forth with like what we believe. And a lot of people are a lot like in agreement, and then when people have questions about it, like there's just always like good conversation around it all the time. Yeah.
Good, like positive, like inclusive.
Yeah, it's really, we really try to be inclusive like quite a bit. So, but I probably should have just introduced like how I introduced in the circle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like so like in the circle what we do, like everybody, like you don't have to be on the spectrum, like straight people, like whoever, if people just want to come and know. That's the point of it. Is you just want to know and to be respectful of everybody. That's kind of what we're for. So I introduce myself. I'll say like, hello, I'm Carmen. I'm Two-Spirit. I'm queer, and I'm also, or my pronouns are she, her. So that's kind of how we introduce each other, is like, and how to be really inclusive is to really like push the pronouns. That's kind of what we're dealing with today, is like the non-binary and like the gender conforming, the non-conforming, like the labels, like everything. That's kind of how we like handle it all. It's just, you know, your name, if you identify, if you don't, that's okay. And your pronouns, like what you feel in your soul rather than your scientific or whatever, biology. Yeah.
That's like powerful, what you feel in your soul.
Yeah, so we make sure that, and we smudge too, like before, so we make sure that like we're all together, if that makes sense. I don't know how else to describe it. Yeah.
So if someone wants to just educate themselves, they're welcome to come to the virtual
come
session.
And listen, yeah. Like you don't have to participate either. Like people will just come and listen, because like it's because it's just conversations.
Yeah,
it's just listening. It's like podcasts too. You know, it's just listening to people go back and forth about stuff that people want to know. So it's really laid back. It's super comfortable. Like people eat dinner together. Like I've been outside on that day. So that's like the best part of it being on virtual. Is like you get to do what you want and educate or feel a part of something too. That's kind of why we started it, is so people can feel a part of something too, you know.
That's so cool. That like now, like you guys didn't have a physical space, but because of like how things are moving online, now you have like an online space. It's like, but it's like a positive thing in like the like physical like world.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
Yeah,
that you're using that. Yeah. How can if somebody wanted to join? Like, how can they do that? Where can they find like how to join?
Just because of like security purposes, like why we don't really meet in person yet. It's just because we wanted it to be so private. Because obviously there's not a lot of people that are comfortable, right? And and then also like we are very like explicit with being like, if you show up, if you're here, it does not mean you identify. Like you're just here to be supportive or whatever. So we kind of wanted to be a little anonymous like that in a way. So that's kind of why we don't really have the in-person thing yet. It's just like it's really private, it's really safe. Like we make sure nothing kind of reaches it. So it's kind of hard to access just because of the safety purposes. So yeah, like there's like an email that everyone can email, and then we add you to our mailing list, and then when we have our next session is when we send out a Zoom link. And so that's just for now. And then if we move into like in-person stuff is where we would just in that email disclose the location and then they can like share it. But yeah, that's just kind of how it is right now. So
well, I will definitely be attending the next session. I'll have to we'll add the email address to the description box of this podcast in case anyone else is also interested in joining the session. So, you know, I bet you get this question a lot, or maybe you don't. I'm not too sure. But what has your experience been being two-spirited in the Indigenous community?
It's like really, it's just like a roller coaster. If I can give you like, what's that, Ontario's like roller coaster? Like they're big and that's my description. Like you're kind of waiting in line to, yeah, like you're waiting in line to just, and you're just kind of wondering like why everyone is there. And then, all of you are going to get on this ride. And then you're like, there's people who are like, hate rides and stuff like that. Especially like if they go upside down and things. Mm-hmm. And I'm totally gravitate to that stuff all the time. So that's kind of like why it's like the best analogy. So you're waiting in line to figure out like if you can do this.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my experience was... Am I going to be out? And if I am, what do I say? So that's kind of like how it is. Like you're just waiting in line and figuring out if you can get on this ride or not. And some people turn around. Some people get on. Some people are on it and don't even realize what's going on. And there's people who are like having such a great time with it. So for me, it's like that. Like the anticipation, I'm like, ooh, like it's so nerve-wracking. And then once I'm on it, I'm like, oh my God, okay, I'm doing this. This is going to be great. Yeah. And I'm like, and then it's like the build-up part of it. And that's where I'm like, okay, I'm having second guesses now. Like I can't handle this, like, because it's so slow, right, when it goes. So, and then you just kind of like come around with it and you just kind of like have no choice but to just enjoy it. Like I have no choice, but you just kind of have to enjoy the ride. Like, and it's always up and down. Like it spirals. Like it goes crazy. Like I don't know how to describe it. But yeah, like once I took that big step of like, all right, I think I know who I am, and if I don't, that's okay. I take responsibility for everything, and then. Yeah, like the first time I really came to terms with it, it was like a rush. I was just like, like I just couldn't come down from it, and I was just like, holy shit, did I just like do that? Oh my God, but yeah, like, and then when it all, once I just knew like there's no turning back. Like you went on the ride and you can go on again, like so. And there's some people who don't go back and they just tried it and that's it, so, and it's totally me. Like every time a roller coaster's in town and I can do it, I'm gonna do it. So yeah, that's kind of how I can describe it, is like you kind of get used to telling people like, this is who I am, this is how it is. It's rough, like it's scary, like you're scared of people not wanting to be on your ride with you. And there's people who come on to it that you don't even realize, like, where were you my whole life? You know what I mean? Like, there's things like, that's kind of how I can describe it is, it's hard. It's really difficult when there's no support.
Yeah, for sure.
And I didn't have the support at all. So I kind of had to realize everything alone. But then as soon as I started to embrace everything, more people came on my ride. More people took my ticket. More people decided like, hey, I could probably do that with you too. And it was really good. Like it opened up so many doors. Like it opened up so much purpose in my life, I guess you could say. Like I didn't think that just being myself would put me here. You know what I mean? Like, and doing what I get to do, what I want to do, like things that empower me in a way. I'm like doing that now. So it's like, it's kind of full circle too, just like the ride, like you get on and you get off. Like, so that's pretty much how I can describe it. It's difficult. You need a riding buddy. If you don't have one, get on alone anyway. So yeah, but also don't force yourself either. Yeah. Don't force yourself to come to terms with things. Like just be yourself. It's kind of, it's always changing. We're always changing anyway. So just gotta get a new ride, I guess. Yeah.
Wow, that's a really good analogy.
Analogy, yeah.
That's all I could describe. It's just what came into my head. Yeah. It's good and bad. It's both.
Yeah.
That's how life is.
Wow. I was for like the next question. It kind of leads into because that's like such a courageous step for you to take.
Yeah.
Right. Like, well, what can I guess like people do to help LGBTQ to be more inclusive across the board? Like, even if you're not on the spectrum, what's like something that everyone can just do? Like, I remember you mentioned like pronouns. Could be something like
pronouns,
stuff like that,
even like your, because like everyone thinks like being straight is like what would you say? It's like like that's supposed to be like the first choice, and so. But if we include everybody to do it all, just like how we would do at schools or how teachers do it, it's just like kind of the same thing. Like, and it's just kind of saying your name and where you're from.
Right.
It's basically just including those little things. And then it breaks down those barriers a lot more. So, yeah, like I had one circle where my cousin, like she's my first cousin, and she's like my sister at the same time too. And we're the same age, completely different people, but she came and she just like got it right away, where she was like, hello, my name is, my pronouns, and and she's like, I'm straight or hetero, however you say it, like and she's like, and I'm here to be supportive. Like, so right there is where it really like helped everyone else that was, and me too, like it really showed that she was really supportive of it.
Right.
Like she walked the walk, what I mean? Like, she didn't just talk about it. Like, she actually came and did it. So, and like, what else other people can do is just like educate on the different identities out there, like what people, identify with, and that it's a spectrum of like, just think of it as a gas tank. I always have these analogies, but it's how I like talk to them in the circle. Like, I always tell them like it's a gas tank, like your spectrum. You're either on this side or you're on this side, but if you're on empty all the time and you're not happy, you won't figure it out.
Right.
You won't discover. It's just like the gas. It's just like a gas tank. Like, you got to keep it full to understand where you're at on the spectrum. Like, are you okay with half a tank? Like, are you okay with 3/4? Like, do you get worried? You know what I mean? That's kind of how it is. Like, so I always say when I am on the spectrum, and just to like kind of separate it, but not everyone does it, is like, so when I introduce myself and I say I'm Two-Spirit, it already involves that I'm like spiritually inclined. On the culture, whatever people have a term for it, doesn't really matter. Like, spiritually, I'm Indigenous, First Nation, whatever. I just happen to be I just happen to have two of them.
Yeah.
And it comes out in like my physical form. Like, the feminine personality is so strong with like the pronoun part, but the masculine side of me just like I dress like how it wants. I don't know how to explain it. It's just that's kind of how like I feed them, both of them somehow.
Right.
And it makes me happy. I don't know how else to explain that. So when I say I'm Two-Spirit, and then I say like I'm queer, and then that like the queer reclaiming too is like a thing, if people like read up on it, where that used to be like a really terrible slur, but then it was reclaimed like in the last decade, and I use it as an umbrella term, because in the spectrum, like how I figured everything out was like I say I'm pansexual and aromantic, and those are the terms, like all the identities people do, and then the other thing people need to really remember is like sexuality and gender are not the same.
Right.
Completely different spectrums too. So
100%.
Yeah. So like, just like an example again, like pansexuality is sort of like there's no gender, there's no preference. It's just kind of like you're a body, I'm a body. you know, like you live, I live. That's just kind of, it's like more energy based. It's more on like a very like personal level.
Right.
And then like the aromanticism, like, and I know, like, I always tell people, like, I know I'm in a relationship, but I still identify with it. Like the aromanticism is like people who don't need a relationship to, you know, all they need is like their platonic relationships, like the friends, family, like they don't really need like the get married, go on dates, things like that. And it exists, like, because that's who I was, like, or I still am like that I was like that for a really long time. And it took me a really long time to figure that out. But the only reason why I could is just, like, researching it. Because, you know, if you're, I don't know, sometimes, like, I'm totally introverted, too. So I like to, like, stay at home, so I'm a homebody. But if I was, like, at home too long, then I would, like, research, just... Yeah, I don't know. I don't, like, so if I was curious about something, I would just, like, look it up. But also, too, what I include in my personal space is how I got educated about that stuff. So it was really good, like, I was really able to identify with those things. So I put it under an umbrella for myself, just because, like, it's me, like, nobody else walks my feet, so.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we just kind of, we just want people to educate themselves and, you know, really watch the language, like, you know, just really just be a part of something like that, or include people that need, you know, that need their voice too. So yeah, like, I'm not speaking for everybody, but I'm totally like a little voice in there too. So yeah,
totally.
So that actually leads us into this next question, and I love this question because I need to know, like, I need to educate myself, and so this has completely opened the door to me on, you know, I'm so excited for this next question because I know a lot of other people are too. But I'm gonna break it in. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna off script this, but I'm gonna break it into a 2-part question. So the question is, what are actions people can take in their lives to be more inclusive to the two-spirited LGBTQA plus community? But, like, I want to know in personal life, like, just in, you know, everyday life. But I also want to know if you have any tips for corporate life, like in the corporate field, like what can we do in our everyday work to be more inclusive?
I'm like, yes, communism win. I'm like, I'm so happy you asked me that. But it's okay. They both kind of work, because that's literally what I apply to my life. Like, I can't deny that I'm a political person. Like, I'm born from it. Like, I literally have like a lineage of like people in politics that serve others. And, you know, I was like, if I'm really like angry about what goes on to, you know, the two-spirit and the LGBTQ plus, if I'm so angered by it, like, what can I do? And it's, you know, and it's learning like everything that involves it, like, you know, like crime is like one of them, like, just you know, not everybody likes to do it, but it shows up, you know, like somebody was like killed, or like somebody's missing, or you know, these people got attacked, or it's sort of like, it's like that, and putting it to somewhere else is kind of how you can, you know, just like you would like solve a crime or something. Like, I don't know, I can probably another analogy probably was like an escape room. But like, you know, it's like all these clues of why people segregate themselves, and also their way of thinking. So if you can separate the person outside of like the identities, is where you can truly like cast your judgment, I think. Which is not like everybody does it, but you know, like if you separate everything from a person, that's when you can truly like, you support them or you don't, and you just kind of move on. but it's the segregation of where we don't separate our physical selves with somebody's mentality, where we attack everything about them, even though we don't know why we don't like them. You know what I mean? So we already separate ourselves that way. And then you kind of have to look in yourself too, of like, why am I kind of vicious, or why don't I just appreciate? And you have to look at yourself and think like, well, is it because I'm not doing enough? You know? And if you're not doing enough, you feel resentful a little bit, right? And then you kind of like make those pointed remarks at people just because you don't like if they have like a certain jacket color or something like that. Or you attack like somebody's sexuality or their personality, whatever. Like, it's not good on either part, you know what I mean? So when you're able to like look at yourself and think, what am I personally doing to help others? And then if you can recognize that every little tiny thing we do is not tiny, you know, like, especially with Indigenous and First Nations people, our beliefs is, you know, our relatives are always watching. Always. We are never truly alone. We are never truly, we are watched all the time. So it's, when you have that, like, I'm not trying to scare people, but if you have, you know, if you're aware of yourself, of who you are, and know what you're, you know where you come from, and know that it's not a reflection of you, is sort of where all of that kind of helps a little bit, where like, I gotta make sure I look up like the city council, the mayor, like, what do they believe in? Like, do they stand for our rights too? Like, are they, you know, just as inclusive? And you just kind of have, you know, we have a right as citizens already, so why don't we use it? Like, we're citizens of the world at some point, not, you know, just in these like municipals and all that stuff, governments, nations, like whatever. We're still a citizen somewhere. That's what matters. So, you know, it's voting in the right people is how you can make a difference. It's empowering the right people, because then they include everybody too. You know, in some small way, the little meetings that we have, just like now, it's like a ripple. You know, you just, you know, put your finger in it and just let it speak to others. So that's kind of how me personally in my life, like, I look up all the corporations, you know, I look up like the people, not even just on my front of what I believe in, like everything, like it's health, it's wealth, it's, you know, and being inclusive, like what are they teaching at the schools, like, you know, I involve myself in that, and people can be like, you know, that's kind of crazy or whatever, but it's just what gives me my peace of mind, so I'm not resentful, and I don't hate on everybody's like outer, you know, I don't segregate myself anymore, because I don't resent myself, you know what I mean, like, and like the circle really helped me with that too, where I was like, I'm not doing enough for these people, I'm not doing enough for what I identify with, so, you know, doing like, especially like out of pocket, that's what I'm doing for the circle, because I know it's not just helping me, like it's helping others in some way, and it's like a ripple, like, and it helps me further motivate myself to look into like, oh, you shouldn't be buying from that company, you know what I mean, like I really take like that stuff seriously, because I like, who else is gonna do it for you? You know what I mean, like, if you really truly want to make a difference in the world, it's like the little things. It's not these big, like, you know, this person raised all this money, or it's not like, that stuff's great, but it's like a one time. You know, like, what are you doing in your little steps?
Right.
So
not the grand gestures. It's more like your everyday.
Yeah, your everyday. It's accumulated. It's like savings, right? Like, you accumulate it. It all like I said, like, they're watching it, and they're taking all of your savings, and they're accumulating it for you, so they can be like, look at what all you did. You know, you helped all these people in some little way, because like, we're all connected still. We're all, like, we're all from the nature.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we all go back there one day. So why are we separated here?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, so that's kind of how you can, you know, just do your research. Like, just know what companies support, what companies don't. And you don't have to stop yourself, but like, we also don't realize how powerful that our little voices can be because we have online, right? Like, I can't remember what I tweeted. Oh my god, oh yeah, it was Lush. I tweeted that Lush because they found out like they like donated to like this women's shelter, but the women's shelter was like transphobic. So, like, they didn't support trans women. So, and then I tweeted, and I was like, why don't you... I was like, don't buy them. They don't, like, support trans women. And, like, they tweeted back at me being like, we're looking into this. We're so sorry. Yeah, like, I was like, you terps. But yeah, that's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, who am I to be like, Lush? You know? Like, but it made a difference somehow.
Yeah.
They were watching it.
Yeah.
So, like, exactly that. Like, corporations, even though we're all slaves, we think to them, we're actually, like, not. Because, like, without their consumers, like, what are they? So we're actually a lot more powerful in that sense of, like, you know, you're not just, like, a little person that doesn't have a voice.
Yeah, and that's actually so cool because, you know, you reaching out to Lush, you know, it could have been like that they actually had no idea that the organization that they donated to was not inclusive. But then that just like really opened their minds, and like, you know, maybe from like now moving forward, every time they do make a donation or, you know, work with another organization, they are going to look into those things and make sure that it's exactly what you were saying earlier, that your voice does matter, and like the little things that you do matter, and educating yourself so you can share that education with, you know, just your friends or whoever, like without being you know, like really
without people like being like turned off by your character, where like that segregation is gone, where you're not so angry, like you're kind of just like, oh, I just want peace, you know, like you're just like, can we just hold hands and you know, make peace. Yeah, it's like exactly that. As soon as that, like that, you can turn that anger off in some way, like the pointed anger, like the blame game, you know, like as soon as that can be turned off and you really come from a place where you're like, I truly believe in this, and it's up to you if you believe me or not. That's all you can do. Like, I can't change people's minds. Like, every time I put the circle up, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get some backlash again, because I got backlash with like the circle. It kind of like hurt me a little, because I was like, I know this person, but I like, what other, you know, I can't let this one person take down something that I built with so many other people, you know, and it will continue to build itself too, like long after, you know, I really do hope, like that's what I kind of want to do my life purpose with, is really ensuring that like those that aren't here yet have something to look at and educate, and just know that there was people who were suffering too. Just like we would with, like, you know, residential school is one of those things too, where I bet even in that time I didn't even know like what Two-Spirit people were dealing with then, you know, like it's a lot harder, but somebody recorded it and we can read it, right? Somebody had to start that. So I give thanks to that person who like started this, so that I could also like kind of get into the timeline of it as well. And then I really hope that somebody else can take it over after me too, like long after.
So when people, like, this is just a question that I've heard, I guess, from other people, when people add their pronouns to their email addresses or their business cards, or, you know, when you're introducing yourself in a meeting, how much of a difference, like, do you think that makes?
Oh, yeah, you want to go ahead? No, yeah, like, that's a big, like, oh, it just makes me so happy, like, just me alone, it makes me so happy, and it makes me like want to be a better person. It makes me like motivated to be like, hey guys, like what are we doing today? You know, like versus like another day at the office. You know, like it feels really good that people are trying, like that people actually care, or even if they don't or whatever, and they just have to do it. Still, somebody along the line with like, you know, in that upper management or whatever was like, no, we have to be inclusive because we have people working for us who have these identities as well. Like, if we don't empower everybody, nothing gets power. You know, nobody eats. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like, it's impactful. Like, it's a big difference just to add those like little things. That's what I'm saying. Like, the little things really matter in the end. And that pronoun thing is a little thing, but it's a big difference at the same time. So yeah, like I love to see that. I would hope that, you know, we could implement that more in where I work, because I struggle with that. I still don't see us at work. I still don't see us, but it probably means that I have to help with that too. You know, it's going to take some time again, just like it did with the circle. But, yeah, I signed up for it, so I'm there. I'm waiting in line. I'm waiting in line for my next ride. Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty much how I can describe it.
It's like becoming conscious of the little things.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it seems to be like the vibe now, and people just becoming conscious of like everything we've been doing.
Yeah, right? Like
years.
just now it's on, you can take a picture of it, right? Like, but no, it's exactly that. Like, it's just being it's just all comes down to it is self-awareness.
Yeah.
Really, like if people really want to make a difference, like it's just self-awareness is what comes down to it. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I was gonna ask too about what could be something that comes off as helpful but might actually be harmful.
Oh, I have quite a bit of those.
Yeah.
Well, like one of the things that, you know, like again, like when people are like, well, I love, you know, gay people, I love this or I love that. Like when they say stuff like that, it's just kind of like, well, no, you don't. You just kind of love how rude that they can be, you know, like it's like, or like how, and there's always like these theories towards these things, of course. So that's why I'm just kind of like, somebody did this and then somebody did this, and it's just miscommunicated all across. So like what could be harmful, like what I hear is quite a bit still, is like people like, oh, I need a gay best friend, or like I need a gay man best friend, and you're kind of like, why? You know, like what do they do that I don't do? You know, like exactly. I'm like, what do they like clean properly, or like, you know what I mean? I'm just kind of like, they're the same as anyone else that's like, you know, like, and I'm like, I think people are like attracted to like the glamour part of it. So it's like, wow, rainbows, wow, yeah, sweet, you know, that kind of stuff is what people love. But if you bring it back, those sort of mannerisms come from a culture. Yeah. So it's a little like appropriation at the same time. Right. So like that's where it kind of like why I like think why people gravitate to saying the things that they do that way, where it's nice that you want to have a friend so you can have like that knowledge or whatever, but to only have that, it's like a token, you know, like it's not helpful at all. You're just being tokenized, you know, and or like, and it's quite a bit like it's with men, like it's mostly with, you know, gay men or whoever, whatever they identify as, like it's harmful to them too, because they're expected to like know fashion and know how to dress you, and
like stereotyping.
Yeah, it's stereotyping for real. Like that's what comes down to it, is just, you know, like, or when they say like, oh, I was like that too, you know, like I'm not like that anymore. That's kind of like, that's not helpful at all either, because it kind of like, oh, so does that mean like this is just a phase? And a lot of people, you know, it's exactly that. Like, if these little things accumulate, people don't.
Yeah.
You know, all they get is like this big fear
Right.
at the end of it. It's not reward, it's fear after. So it's all these, it's like, again, like, it's the little things, like, watch your language, like, you know, don't say you need this just because it'll include you or whatever. Like, you're already cool, you know, like.
It's like, I think people feel like they have to overcompensate or something instead of just making it like it's normal. Like, that's what they don't get. It's normal.
Exactly.
And by you overcompensating is like just taking that away.
Don't be weird about it.
Yeah, you're being weird about it now.
Yeah, exactly. Like, right out of money. That's
like,
pretty much.
this is something completely different, but when I was growing up, people used to always tell me, like, oh, you're so dark. And, like, you know, like, it was just like, okay, thanks. But now that I'm older and, like, the topic of skin color is kind of perceived different. So now I feel like people overcompensate because a lot of people tell me, like, oh, you look so exotic. And I'm like, what does that mean? Or, like, you know, you look so golden, or, like, you know, it's just, don't comment on that. Like, you don't even have to.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Why is this even a conversation right now?
Why is it your business?
Yeah.
You know, like, I didn't get to choose this. You know?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I was just born.
Yeah.
Like, I totally get where you're coming with that too, because it's the exact same thing. Like, where you're stereotyped, or like where they it's like backhanded compliments in a way, where they're like, oh, you're dark, and then you're kind of like, then it's like a little resentful in a way, and then, like, yeah, you get older and you're like, what was that supposed to mean? Am I supposed to? And then you question yourself.
Yeah.
And then you get a little resentful, where you're like, who is this person to think that they can talk about me? You know, like, and you think about it, and it, like, kind of weighs you down. So it's exactly that. Like, it's, you know, people don't have to really truly emulate something. You can just take a little bit away from it and understand it at some point. So it's like, and people forget that they have that power too. You have the power to change your mind.
Right.
You know, like, you can feel a way towards things, but you can also reverse it as well. Like, nobody's like on you being like, you know, like, even now, like, to those people that used to say that to you, or for me, like, personally, I'd be like, oh, that person really, like, is insecure with themselves, you know, like, because like, you kind of turn it around, and you're like, and then you're kind of like, kind of really, like, hope you get out of that, sis, you know what I mean?
That's so true. Yeah, that's
like,
really true.
So you have the power to. People really don't understand that they have the power to do these things. It takes quite a bit of that. It's like a lot of mind work too. But yeah.
But I think that's amazing that you built this community where people can just come and talk about things and educate themselves and feel a sense of belonging. And, you know, again, just kudos. Like, I know that it's not easy, but it's needed and it's necessary and it's important. So yeah, that's just amazing. So I guess the next question that I have is, what does two-spirited mean in a cultural and or a spiritual context? I know that we've touched on this a bit, but
it's like, it's a little difficult to really, like, put a description on it.
The
like,
words you were saying,
there's no like English word to really truly describe it. Like, all I can tell people is, like, it's truly like becoming into your own, where you can do everything. You know, you have the abilities to do everything if you feed them. It's like kind of like that other, what people say, like, you have two wolves inside of you. I'm like, I have two queens, you know, like, I have two drag people inside of me, you know, whatever. Like, you feed them. You feed them to come out in a way. And, like, so for, like, my interpretation of it is, you just have these two, or you just have these multiple beings, whatever people believe in. You have these beings that guide you, and they shape your personality in a way where you do everything. Like, you have both things, you know, like you're able to touch certain things, or you're able to pick up certain things because that's what you identify as, or it's, you know, or you don't even question it when you're born. Some people don't. So culturally, like, it was like, back in the day, it was really like sacred to have somebody like that in your camp, because they were able to do everything. You know, they were able to, you know, help people give birth, and they were able to, like, help people gather, help people hunt, you know, like, and the body didn't matter. Like, that's the thing with what I believe is, like, the body doesn't matter at the end of the day, where it doesn't matter what I look like, what I dress like, because there's no form. There's no there's no colonized form of it. I can't even describe it. Like, it's just, it's like having both. You know, like, it's like having two brains.
Yeah.
It's like having two sets of lungs. It's two hearts. Like, it's like you're split down the middle, and they're both working together. Like, just like how I move my hands, like, both of them are in tuned and are moving me. And, like, I'm just a vessel at the end of the day. And then, so, like, it's exactly that. Like, because of me being born this way, like, I believe I was given, like, a quite amount of gifts.
Yeah.
But, like, I was given gift of listening. So people to come to me about, like, the deepest and darkest stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, I just thought that's how you were doing. But
3 hours later.
Yeah. But it makes it's, you know, I think I'm strong enough because I have the both. Because not a lot of people can handle that, like, hearing, or they're kind of like, oh, don't talk to me, because it makes them, like, nervous or scared, you know, like. So, but I am able to listen to it and handle it and help it, but that's because I think I'm, like, I have two of them, you know, and then there's the people who are so strong in themselves regardless. So there's always, like, I always believe that there's not one set way of it either, you know, because there's people who have a more feminine persona, and there's people who have a more masculine persona. Like, it doesn't matter what body you have. All it really comes down to is, like, how you handle the really hard stuff. I think, not, like, the good stuff. It's, like, who you are at the worst. And I believe that was one of my gifts, is somebody's worst, I was there for it. Because they knew that I could handle it. And then I can walk away being like, you know, all right, like, who's next? You know, like, kind of like a clinic. You know, like, all right, who needs help? You know, and it's not even like I'm disregarding them, like, as that. It's more or less like, wow, people really do come to me with, like, issues, and they trust me with so much. And I'm always, and I believe that's another gift that I have with the both of them. Like, the masculine part of me can handle the really difficult things in the physical world. And then the feminine side of me handles the really difficult things emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Like, all that stuff is really, like, you know, like, it's like an overdrive in a way because of how I feed them. So, like, and I could probably give an example of, like, how I feed them. Like the male or the masculine part of me, like, I go to the male section at the stores, and, like, I get myself a t-shirt because I like that stuff better than I do. But then I will go to a store that I really love, like I don't know, H&M, and that's where, like, the feminine part of me is like, you know, like, I'm gonna dress in this, I'm gonna wear this. So that's kind of how I feed them, but both, like, everything. So, like, the clothes I give to them, like, my hair I give to them, my sight, my ears, like everything I give to them to walk the way I do. Like how I handle everything is because I feed them. You know, I give them what they need because, you know, like before I was really dark before. Like I didn't understand why I was so scared of everything and why everything made me so like depressed and like why like I have like struggle with mental illness the way I did. Like it was because I wasn't feeding them or giving them the proper attention that they needed, and also too surrounding myself with really good people that support that is also the other thing. And I just kind of want to leave people with that, like, you know, you're going to be losing people and that it sucks, but it's okay because you will gain more. You know, it's just kind of like, you know, when something passes away in the earth and it was like the one thing, but so much after blooms, like so much comes out of it. That's kind of how I relate to, you know, losing the relationships that I did because of, you know, me coming out. It just opened up more for more people to come in.
The right people.
Yeah, like into my clinic. You know, like like you said, like the right people came in, and like, oh, I'm so thankful. Like that's the one thing I want to like mention too, is like I didn't deal with the segregation or like my family hating me or not, you know, supporting me. Like just right at the, like, we're like, yeah, we know. You know, like they were like, yeah, you're always a little odd. You know? So like, yeah, they were like, it's the support. It's literally who you surround. And I believe that in everything, like not just being who you identify as, like everything, career, lifestyle, whatever you think it is, it's literally surrounding yourself with people who are like-minded or who want to support you, you know, or who want to get out of what they're dealing with. Those are the best people, and those are the people that you do have to like cultivate a relationship with. Like it takes time, it takes work. But, you know, like when, like I said, like when the ugly stuff really happens, they're there in some way or another. Some little thing that they do for you, it's there. I don't know how else to describe it. Like it's really surrounding yourself with people and empowering yourself to get that. It's kind of how it all happens. So yeah, I don't know. For me, it sounds so easy, but I know it's not like that for other people. I think it's because I'm so like, boom. You know? I'm like Karl Marx, you know. I'm like communism. I was like, just cut it off and it's done. You know, like. But not everybody has that, so that's the thing that I have to tell myself. It's like,
the courage to jump on the coaster.
Yeah, and like some people don't want to get on the ride, and you have to be okay with that. You know? Some people aren't just good. You have to be okay with that. So it's been a journey, but it's still walking it and still going through it all. So
thanks for sharing your journey.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
I feel like I'm just a better person. That was good. That was really
thank you.
I know, and like educating me, like there's like I have like so many things that I want to go jump and do right now because I haven't been doing it.
Totally.
Like just things as adding my pronouns to my email address, right? Like my signature. Like I can't believe I haven't done that yet. It's just I can't wait to go do it, right? Exactly what you were saying. It's the conscious, becoming self-aware. So again, thank you so much for your time today.
You're welcome. I just want to like tell you both, like, just, you know, you're both doing a good job. Just like I'm in my clinic. I'm like, just, you know, I just want that for everybody. Like, just realize that you have the potential to do really great things. Everybody does. You just gotta feed yourself somehow. You know, like it all goes back to being with nature at the end of it. So you know, it's good to just strive for that. But just thank you.
Kes hongi chi nagak te wan
Thank you for listening, and we hope you found this podcast valuable. For updates on our next podcast, be sure to follow us on Instagram at G4_health and on Facebook at G4health. If you have any questions or ideas about future podcasts, send us a DM on social media.